two, let's get to the for the culture, man. You better get to for the culture.
Man, if Dr. Charles Bishop is in the green room and he is ready to come on board and kick the knowledge, like we said back in the day and add in on this cipher, man, let's go to for the culture. You ain't got no push the button for the culture?
I will. It's coming. It's coming.
Oh, hey, well, hold on a second. Go widescreen on Chuck. He is a white folks' house. He look nice back there.
Fuck wild as hell, man.
What? I see a piano. It's daylight wherever he is. Hey, let me tell you something. When it's daylight and the lights on, you know you got money.
You wide open, brother. Wide open.
Wide open.
There you go.
Hey, no. Like Ocho said, you shout out.
Chico. I ain't finished playing detective. Take me back to that wide shot. Look out that front door, that window, that bay window. You see all that daylight coming in? Then look at that recessed lighting. The lights on. Got a grand piano with the top open over there. Boy, let me tell you, Chico, you can't hide money.
Oh boy, it is always a pleasure.
They should have never gave you money.
They should have never gave you. Darkness is spreading.
Lord have mercy.
Wide open, Chico. Wide open, bro.
Wide open. He shout out. Like Ocho said about Unc, man. You shout out, Unc. You shout out.
Hey, Professor Charles Bishop, I got to show you something that I know you appreciate, because as the co-host of Inside the HB Sports Lab, as the anchor for the Culture on Sunday Night Live with Chico, and his first chair in 2025 for the Culture series is coming. Let me show you, because you might didn't see it. I got a Christmas gift from my guys, signed by Shiloh and signed by Cameron Steele McCrae, and Cam wrote the D.I. Love on there.
That's dope.
For the culture. For the culture.
That's dope. You gotta love
that came from Jackson State. Shout out to Herman Smith as well. But the reason he's not on here, he had a stop in between. He didn't go directly from Jackson State to Colorado. But these two young brothers, been with them since their college careers then, and had to get their ink, man. And when Cam added that D I Love with the hashtag,
that made it even more.
Oh yeah.
That's like that's a real deal type collector type item right
I ain't
there.
got no
one of one.
It up, but I got that.
One of one right there. One of one. You deserve a
big shout out. Big shout out. That's dope. That's dope.
Let's talk about what's going on in the culture right now, in HBCU news and so on.
Yeah, no doubt.
One more thing before we get into that. I can't remember, Chuck. Which side was Vice Lord and which side was folk? I don't want to hang
wild as hell, boy.
I mean, we gonna do it for. I'm putting it in the middle. I'm gonna put it in the middle.
Hey, you took me back to 80s Jackson with that, man. That was wild.
Out there in the Jackson Mall parking lot, you like, man, which way your hat, man? You can't be up here any kind of way.
Hey, you better put it in the middle, ride neutral.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to ride neutral.
I'm gonna keep everything to myself right now. I'm gonna keep everything to myself. I'm not even gonna go down that lane.
I was banging down there, Selma. You ain't got
to. was. Eels. Old now to the two South SEL. You know what I mean? GDs, Vice Logs, folks, everything. Crips, Bloods, all y'all.
I promise, no more interruptions for the culture.
This is for the culture, man.
Silly.
We are silly for no reason.
Boy, y'all wide open tonight. Big news tonight. Had breaking news tonight. Alabama A&M, they have named their new head football coach. It will be Sam Shade. Sam Shade coming over from Miles College, the Division II program. But you know Sam Shade from his playing days in the NFL, played with the Redskins, played with the Bengals. He's a disciple of Marvin Lewis. I mean, he's a tremendous coach, and he resurrected that Miles program to get them back into the mix of winning championships. Won an SIAC championship this past season, won a playoff game in the Division II playoffs, and probably more importantly for Alabama A&M fans, he beat their rival, Alabama State, this past season. So huge for Alabama A&M to add Sam Shade as their 22nd head coach to take over the helm now at Alabama A&M. And I always say Alabama A&M, it's a bit of a jewel sitting in the swag. Huntsville is an up-and-coming city. So that is a strong hire for Alabama A&M.
I think so.
Yeah, that is, man. And I like your connection with Miles beating their rival, because one of the things I was going to ask you before you stated that, and you can still pontificate on if you may, one of the last times that this happened in the SWAC and led to some success is when Jackson State got Comedy from Tuskegee.
Yes.
And everybody's like, oh, man, can you come from a small school like that and coach a powerhouse? But if he's already at the small school and beating their rival, what's he going to do with the budget now? Like, it should do great things, huh?
Great things. I think that's a very good point, Neely, when you start to take a look at that. And now we have sort of a trend. We have 3 Division II coaches that are bumping up to FCS. You got Tremaine Jackson going from Valdosta State to Prairie View. You got Sam Shade, of course, going from Miles to Alabama A&M. And then you also have North Carolina A&T. They brought back a young man that was at Fort Valley State. Name just slipped my mind real quick. But North Carolina A&T, they went to Division II route and brought back one of their own. So you have a bit of a trend. So I think everybody starts getting caught up, Neely, in quote-unquote celebrity or whatever the case might be. I hate the terminology because a coach is a coach. But the reality of the situation is you have a good mix of both when you start taking a look at Deshaun Jackson at Delaware State, Michael Vick at Norfolk State now, and now you have these hires in the SWAC. So it's going to be really interesting this upcoming year to see how things go.
Chuck, I got to tell you, Dr. Bishop, there's nothing like your profound breakdown of what's going on in Black college football. And we can always count on, at the same time, you are giving us just pure Black excellence. Somebody in the chat come with the foolishness.
I knew you was going to say
so. Just as you were breaking that down, somebody said in the chat that you were at Frank Lucas' house. So I want to encourage you, don't get your hand and head mashed under the piano. And you don't white alpaca. You got the block that.
You got a blonde alpaca. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I will say this, what you mentioned about the environment of Huntsville. Bossy Sanders was in Boulder right before we left for the bowl game, and I was talking to her about how she was enjoying being at A&M, and A&M, as you know, is in Huntsville. And one thing I will say about Huntsville, because of all the science, engineering, and rocket testing money, that it really is a thriving, up-and-coming, rising income base there, a quote-unquote emerging Black Wall Street, if you will. So rich environment and a rich HBCU space for him to go coach football there as well. So he should be able to recruit.
Yeah, he should be able to recruit. And then when you start talking about the campus itself, the campus is a beautiful, beautiful campus. So that adds one more little nugget in terms of not only the campus, but Huntsville environment as a whole. So like I said, that Huntsville area, Alabama A&M could be sort of a sleeping jewel sitting in the SWAC. And let me go back. The name came back to me, Sean Gibbs, as a young man going from Fort Valley State to North Carolina A&T. So, you got some trends, if you will, going on within HBCU football. So it makes for an exciting time. So I think we still have Mississippi Valley in terms of they need to fill that coaching vacancy there at Mississippi Valley. But 2 new names that really should reinvigorate these programs at Prairie View and at Alabama A&M. Both schools, they say, they're on the heel, if you will. So you got 2 A&M schools and whatnot that have added a new coach. Beautiful facilities, beautiful campuses. It'll be interesting to see what they can do.
Man, I love it. And Chuck, and too, Chico, one of the things I'm big on is when somebody moves from a space, it opens up an opportunity at that space. So please keep us posted, Chuck, on who's going to fill these jobs at Miles and these other HBCUs now that their current coaches have moved up, because odds are they're going to be hiring somebody, like an Ed Reed, like a Ray Lewis, and I know that some people get mad at these quote unquote celebrity coaches who ain't paid their dues. That's a whole nother think tank piece out there. Just dive right in.
So I always take a look at it like this, Neely. I mean, I can't blame a school for trying a different something. Let's take Jackson State, for instance. I mean, they tried the tried and true alum. They tried the up-and-coming assistant coach who was a top-notch recruiter. They tried the disciplinarian. Jackson State football, honestly, was mediocre football for a good 7-year period until they caught lightning in a bottle with Coach Prime coming to Jackson State. You saw what he was able to do. So I'm always sort of like, okay, I get the argument that an individual, quote unquote, has not paid their dues, but if they come in with the requisite amount of passion, they come in with the requisite amount of hard work, which we saw firsthand that Coach Prime was able to do at Jackson State. I mean, how can you knock it? Give it an opportunity. So I credit, Norfolk State for giving it an opportunity. I credit, Delaware State. They gave it an opportunity. We've tried it the conventional way. Let's try something, because both of these programs, they've been running in the mud for more than enough time. And you can't just keep getting your teeth kicked in, year out. Try something different.
I love that. I love that. Chuck, I got on my Santa hat. Christmas is behind us. I want to try something different and be in the giving mood. Chico, put Chuck on the screen because I got a challenge for him.
Yeah.
Chuck, good old Uncle Neely will donate $1,000 to your favorite charity if you can get up and walk to that piano.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Guess what won't be happening? Guess what won't be happening?
Just leave your camera on and just get up and walk back to that piano.
Just tell him.
And I got $1,000 to your favorite charity.
Hey, yo,
I got another 1,000 on top of it.
That's $2,000. That's $2,000 to your favorite charity. If you can walk back to that piano.
The chat got another 1,000 on it.
That's $3,000.
$3,000.
In fact, we up to 3. I will double the 3 and make it 6 if you walk to that front door and open it.
If you double the 6, or if you double the 3 and make it 6, I gotta double the 6 and make it 12.
And what would be even more dope if I played a little tune, did a little John Hardy back there too? I mean,
Lord have mercy.
Hey man, you never know what you're gonna get on Sunday Night Live when it's time for the culture with Dr. Chuck Bishop. But one thing you're gonna get is informed and educated. Chuck, we appreciate you stopping by for this final Sunday of Sunday Night Live. Excellent breakdown of For the Culture. Looking forward to the reoccurring segment this new year in 2025. Chuck, any shout outs, anything you want to say? How can they reach y'all inside the Sports Lab? Whatever you got before you get out.
No doubt. I mean, you can catch us on Inside the HBCU Sports Lab every Tuesday and Thursday. We're moving into basketball season, so we'll be starting to talk about basketball, where you're talking about the CIAA, the SIAC, the MEAC, or the SWAC. We get into it, of course, with my cohort, Dr. Kenyatta Cavill. I mean, the dean of HBCU Sports. We will be mixing it up along with Mike Washington. But every Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can catch us on your favorite on YouTube and whatnot. So you absolutely can catch us. But man, I want to just shout you guys out. You guys have done a tremendous job in chronicling Colorado football all season. I tune in week out, and just to be a part of this show, really appreciate it. And then to take off with pregame show into the 2025. Looking forward to it.
My man, Professor Charles Bishop from Inside the Space U Sports Lab. We know you entertaining guests over there with Uncle Frank. And like T.I. said to him at that dinner when he go to that Yankees tryout, I want to be like you, Uncle Chuck. I want to be like you. Hey, just like his mama said, I ain't never asked you where none of this stuff came from.
Hey, bro, your ability to quote movies verbatim, man, you take me out with that every time, bro.
Yeah, well, take us out with a little music on that piano. You can't do it. All right, Chuck, we love you, brother. We catch you next Sunday.
Love you too, brothers.
Appreciate you once again.
Man, that was
you wild.
Charles Bishop coming live from Frank Lucas' house.
Somebody said all of us go to Frank Lucas' house when we have a Zoom meeting for work. We all use that background. That's what they said in the chat.
PPMG TV said, hell, I got $1 million on it. If he get up and go to that piano.
Another Sunday Night Live. Onk and Big Dog Chico.
And they say that we only together on Sunday Nights Live.
We here right now, baby, in the flesh.
It's live.
Get you some.